Now, since this year's NBA draft, I believe I've made 3 videos on the Houston Rockets, and in those 3 videos just talked about how amazing of a job they've done so far in this year's offseason, hiring Coach Ime Udoka. I think that was the best move of the offseason for this team. I think he's going to make a huge difference for that team and for the organization. They brought in Thompson and Cam Whitmore, and then in free agency, they were able to bring in Jock Landale, Jeff Green, Fred VanVleet, and Dylan Brooks. And in those videos, I just talked about how much better of a basketball team the Houston Rockets are going to be. I talked about how they added more shooting to this basketball team, more defense, and more playmaking. And a viewer in the previous video, he pointed out that one thing that I haven't been talking about, and he said everyone in general, how much better this team's second unit is going to be. And I couldn't agree more. And the first thing I want to do in this video is establish what the Houston Rockets starting 5 is going to look like for next season. You guys let me know down in the comments what you think it should look like. What I'm thinking is going to look like as of right now, I think it's going to be Fred VanVleet at the 1, Jalen Green at the 2, Dylan Brooks at the 3, Jabari Smith at the 4, and Alperen Sengun at the 5. Now, you never know with how training camp and the preseason can go. You never know. That could change. Thompson, I could definitely see him being a starter for the Houston Rockets. I love the way he looked in his summer league debut. Unfortunately, he's going to miss the rest of the summer league due to an ankle injury, so we hope he gets back as soon as possible, healthy and ready to play. But he looked really good scoring the basketball, playing defense, and creating for others. And he has tremendous size. He's 6'7" with that 7-foot wingspan, so you can definitely play him from anywhere from point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. But nonetheless, that's the starting 5 I'm going to lock in for right now. And I think the Houston Rockets, they have so much depth on this bench now. And now we can talk about what the group should look like for the second unit. And me personally, I think there's two different lineups you can go with. I think if you want to go with talent, you can go Thompson at the 1, Kevin Porter Jr. at the 2, Cam Whitmore at the 3, Tari Eason at the 4, and then Jock Landale at the 5. But if you want to go for veteran presence and experience, you can swap out Cam Whitmore and you can put in Jeff Green. But for me personally, I would love to see Cam Whitmore there. I just think he's a better basketball player than Jeff Green. And also, it is true over the years, and I think this is with any team that's in that rebuilding stage, when there's those consecutive years of just losing, no team has a second unit to go to, and that's what we've seen with the Houston Rockets over the last few years. Just not enough playmakers, not enough defenders, not enough shooting. And now we look at this season with the new additions, they're definitely going to have that in that 5 that we just named, that I think will be the second unit going into next season. I feel like they have 2 guys that can make plays for others and make plays for themselves. That's Thompson and Kevin Porter Jr. And I want to talk a little bit more about Kevin Porter Jr. in depth. I think this season is going to be a huge opportunity for him. Now, me personally, I'm a huge fan of Kevin Porter Jr. just off his aesthetic when it comes to the game of basketball alone. I like the accessories that he wears, the way that he plays. He's a lefty, so his jump shot looks smooth, and he actually does remind you of James Harden, the way he dribbles the basketball. He has the step back to his game, and the way that he finishes around the rim. He's just a lot more athletic than James Harden. But Kevin Porter Jr., I feel like he's one of those players, as soon as he finds the correct role on a basketball team, his NBA career is gonna take off. And I'm actually looking forward to the role that he's gonna have next season for the Houston Rockets. Now, already in his NBA career, just 23 years of age, he's done some impressive things in the NBA, and I believe he's the youngest player in NBA history to have 50 points and 10 assists in a basketball game. I believe he did that when he was just 20 years old. So he's already done some impressive things. But we look at what his role is going to look like for the Houston Rockets next season. I believe he's going to be that 6th man, but I'm looking forward to him being his natural self. And his natural self is a scorer, and now he's going to be playing alongside another playmaker, which is Amin Thompson, assuming that that second lineup is going to look like the one that I threw out earlier in the video. So I think this alone is really going to allow Kevin Porter Jr. to excel in that 6-man role next season. But yeah, when you have that primary playmaker out there and you're allowed to be yourself, it's going to make the game come so much easier to you. And we got to understand that last season he was playing alongside Jalen Green, which he's the same way. He's naturally just a scorer. So I'm looking forward to seeing this from Kevin Porter Jr. for next season. And his game is, as far as from a talent and a skill standpoint, is elite. He has the 3-ball, can score from all 3 levels, mid-range, great handle on the ball. He can finish around the rim, and he's athletic. He can get up and punch it on you. So I think he's going to be I think he's going to get some really good looks on and off the ball for the Houston Rockets next season. And also, I can't wait to see Amin Thompson. I can't wait to see him be the quarterback for this unit. We've seen how exciting he was in his summer league debut, and I'm telling you, him and his brother, they are basketball junkies. I've seen videos of guys, interviewing them, and they're playing these games and asking them questions about NBA history, and they're just answering the questions very quickly, like they really love the game of basketball. And you can see that out there because Amin Thompson, he processes the game really well. He makes great transition plays, moving the ball up the court, half court. He's a very unselfish player. Doesn't have a problem swinging the ball and finding the open man. So I'm really looking forward to him running quarterback for this group, especially with the guys he has running on the wing with him, Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore. So it's going to be very exciting. And another thing that's going to be really good about this second unit is what they're going to be able to do on the defensive side of the ball. Now, in my opinion, they have 3 defensive specialists with Amin Thompson, Cam Whitmore, and Tari Eason. And you guys know how I feel about Tari Eason. Last offseason, I really enjoyed getting to know him as a basketball player, watching him in the summer league and watching his college highlights. I believe he has a lot of potential. And then also watching him in this year's summer league, seems like he's maturing at a really, really fast level. He just put himself in the correct position, and he also is knocking down his wide open 3-point shots, and I feel like he did a good job of that last year during the regular season. So, but looking at these guys as a defensive tandem, those 3 guys are gonna be able to switch anything that comes their way. And then you have Kevin Porter Jr., who has great size for the position that he plays. So as long as he's giving some sort of effort on the defensive side of the ball, he's not going to be too much of a liability. And I think playing under Coach Ime Udoka, that's definitely going to happen. But Amin Thompson, he's great on the perimeter, and he's also a great help defender. We also saw some of that in the summer league. I also saw him when he was switched on to bigger defenders. He was getting strips. He was contesting well at the rim. He made some off-ball plays on the defensive side of the ball. So, like we said, just adding those players that have a defensive identity. And I know it was one summer league game, but still, I think Amin Thompson, he proved that he's a defensive player. We already know how Tari Eason gets on the defensive side of the ball. Had the biggest hands in his draft class. He has a crazy wingspan. He's also uber athletic. He's going to be able to guard 1 through 5, especially with how today's NBA is moving. And then Cam Whitmore is just an explosive competitor. He's a great weak side defender. Also uber athletic, so when he's coming weak side, he's jumping out of the gym to block the ball. He gets off ball steals, and then he has tremendous lateral quickness, so he can guard multiple positions as well. So I'm really looking forward to Kevin Porter Jr. just being able to go out there and get a bucket. Amin Thompson is going to be making plays for his guys, and then you just have a great defensive trio with those 3 guys out on the perimeter. And then you have Jock Landale manning the 5 spot. Now, Jock Landale, he's a very, very decent basketball player, and I watched him a lot in the playoffs last year, watching the Phoenix Suns battle with the Denver Nuggets. They were trying to do everything they can to stop Jokic, and Jock Landale, he plays very, very hard. He's going to rebound the basketball. He's going to set screens. He's going to put himself in the right position on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's the dunking spot, whether it's setting hard screens, whether it's hitting the offensive glass, and also he can stretch the floor and knock down the 3-point shot. So I really like what the Houston Rockets have done this offseason, and I really appreciate that viewer for pointing it out that their second unit is also going to improve too. So that was something that was fun to talk about today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like the starting five to be for the Houston Rockets and what you would want to see from their second unit. And then if you enjoyed, leave a like, and then if you really enjoyed, subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.